Hey everyone, my name is Jaffer and welcome to the Math King channel where I will be teaching you how to solve basic to complex problems in algebra. Today I will be discussing linear equations with fractional coefficients and walking you guys through on how to solve problems as it relates to this subject. Are you ready? Well, let's get started. So before we begin, let's go over some definitions. Number one, a variable is an unknown that is represented by a symbol such as x, y, and z. A constant is a number that is not a variable. The example we have here is 1, 2, 3, etc. And then finally, a coefficient, which is a number multiplied by a variable. So in the example 2x plus 3, 2 is a coefficient. Alright guys, so the first problem that we're dealing with is negative 1/2 minus 4x over 5 equals 1/2 minus 2x. Okay, so for this, whenever you solve an equation, you always want to make sure you have your coefficients on one side of the equal sign and your constants on the other side of the equal sign, right? So here we have negative 1/2, which is a constant, and we have 1/2, which is also a constant. So let's try to bring this negative 1/2 from the left-hand side of the equal sign to the right-hand side of the equal sign. How do we do that? Well, we're going to have to add 1/2 to cancel that out. I'm going to add 1/2 here. So then we're going to bring down our negative 4x over 5 equals 1/2 minus 2x plus 1/2. Okay. Now let's bring in our coefficient from the right hand side to the left hand side. So we're going to have to add 2x, right? That cancels that out. We're going to add 2x here. So then we'll get 2x minus 4x over 5 equals 1/2 plus 1/2. Okay. Now, 2x minus 4x over 5, this is a whole number, that's a fraction. So when you have a whole number, you're going to treat this with a 1 as its denominator. And we need to find the least common denominator. So we could multiply 1 times 5, and that would match up with this denominator. Just remember, when you multiply a numerator or denominator by whatever number, you're going to do to the same to the numerator or the denominator. So if I multiply my denominator by 5, I'm going to have to multiply my numerator by 5, okay? So our 2x times 5 is going to give us 10x. Our 1 times 5 is going to give us 5 minus 4x over 5 equals 1/2 plus 1/2. So you see what I did there? I multiplied 5 by 2x, which gave me 10x. I multiplied 5 by 1, which gave me 5. And by doing so, we have a common denominator. We both have 5 as our denominator. And since we have that, we can do the subtraction of 10x over 5 minus 4x over 5, okay? So 10x over 5 minus 4x over 5 is going to give us 6x over 5, okay? Equals 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. So finally, we need to solve for x. So in order to solve for x, we can multiply this 6x over 5 by its reciprocal. The reciprocal of 6x over 5 is going to be 5 over 6. By multiplying this by 5 over 6, you're able to get x by itself, because 6 divided by 6 is going to be 1. 5 divided by 5 is going to be 1. Alright, what you do to one side of the equal sign, remember you're going to do to the opposite side of the equal sign. Alright, so when we multiply 5 over 6 times 6 over 5, we're going to get x because it cancels out. And that's going to equal 5 over 6 times 1 is 5 over 6. So our final answer is x equals 5 over 6. Alright, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, guys, problem 2. Solve the equation negative x minus 2x equals negative x over 3 minus 3 over 2. Again, you want to make sure that you have your coefficients on one side of the equal sign and your constants on the other side of the equal sign. Alright, so luckily we already have a common variable here. We have negative x minus 2x. So let's simplify that real quick just to make our life a little bit easier. So negative x minus 2x is going to give us negative 3x, right, equals negative x over 3 minus 3 over 2, okay? So let's bring our variable here and bring it from the right hand side to the left hand side, the equal side. So we're going to have to add x over 3 plus x over 3 here. Cancel that out. So now we're going to have x over 3 minus 3x equals negative 3 over 2. Okay, remember, because we have a whole number here, we're going to treat it as a 1 for its denominator, and we're going to have to multiply. We're going to have to find the least common denominator. So in this case, let's use 3. And if we're going to use 3 as our least common denominator, we're going to have to multiply our numerator and denominator by 3, okay? So if we do that, x over 3 minus 3 times 3 is 9x, and 3 times 1 is 3, equals negative 3 over 2, okay? So x minus 9x, that's going to give us negative 8x over 3 equals negative 3 over 2. Okay, now we need to get x by itself, so let's multiply negative 8 over 3 by its reciprocal, which is going to be negative 3 over 8 by multiplying negative 8 over 3 by negative 3 over 8. That's going to give us x by itself. And remember, what we do to one side of the equal sign, we're going to do to the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to multiply negative 3 over 8 over here, and that will reduce to x equals negative 3 times negative 3, that's 9, and 2 times 8 is 16. There you go. So x is going to equal 9 over 16. All right, let's move on to our final problem. All right, our last problem is 3 plus 4x over 3 equals negative 2 minus 5x over 2. Okay, so again, we need to get our constants on one side of the equal sign and our coefficient on the other side of the equal sign. So let's bring our 5x over 2 to the left hand side of the equal sign. So how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to have to add 5x over 2. That would cancel that out. Plus 5x over 2. Alright, so we're going to get 3 plus 4x over 3 plus 5x over 2 equals negative 2. Alright, now let's bring our constants on the right hand side of the equal sign. So we're going to bring 3 over here. So how we're going to do that? We're going to subtract 3 to cancel that out, and then we're going to subtract 3 here. So then we'll have 4x over 3 plus 5x over 2 equals negative 2 minus 3. Okay, now we have our coefficients on one side, we have our constants on the other side. So let's simplify this. We need to find the least common denominator. All right, between 3 and 2, we know that if we multiply 3 times 2, that's 6, right? So we're going to have 6 as our denominator. Okay. All right, so 3 times 2 is 6, right? So 4 times 2 is 8. 8x. All right, remember what we do to the denominator, we're going to have to do to the numerator. So since we multiply our denominator by 2 to get 6, we're going to have to multiply our numerator by 2 to get 8. All right, so now for 5x over 2, 2 times 3 is 6, right? So 5 times 3 is 15. 15x. Right, equals negative 2 minus negative 3. That's going to give us negative 5. All right, so 8x plus 15x, what's that going to give us? 8x plus 15x is going to give us 23x over 6 equals -5. Alright, so we're doing great right now. Alright, so we need to get x by itself, so we need to find the reciprocal of 23x over 6. So the reciprocal of -23x over 6 is going to be 6 over 23. Alright, 6 over 23. You're going to multiply that by this on one side of the equal sign and on the other side of the equal sign. So that's going to cancel that out, right? 23 goes into 23, 6 goes into 6. One time, so we're going to get x equals 5 times, or -5 times 6 is -30 over 23. Our final answer is x equals -30 over 23. Nice. I hope this is clear, guys. Alright, so I want to thank you guys for tuning into my channel. If you enjoyed watching this tutorial, please give this video a like, and if you would like to see more tutorials in the future, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and see you next time.